Hey, welcome back to Sober Now. I'm Jim LaPierre, and today's topic is how to be okay with being okay. This is not something that I think we talk nearly enough about in recovery, which is the fact that it's a huge adjustment. Recovery is a series of adjustments ongoing, and one of the weirdest ones is just noticing that things are okay, noticing that nothing's really wrong in the moment, and getting used to that. So, being okay doesn't mean that things are great, doesn't mean that everything is good. What it does mean is that we're gaining stability, we're gaining a little bit of security in life. We may not have a lot of what we still want, but we do find that our basic life needs are met. We're making progress. Our health is improving. We're seeking opportunities, whether that's in education or work or rebuilding family. But things are starting to get progressively better, and that's scary. I put the same curse on all the folks that I work with, which is I hope it gets so good you can't stand it, because I've actually seen that happen hundreds of times. And while I joke about it, I also know that it takes a lot to get used to it. And a big piece of that is actually we're still looking over our shoulder. We're still struggling with anxiety. We're still very fear based people. But when you keep looking over your shoulder and you notice that there's nothing there, it's hard to feel relieved. It's hard to just relax. It's hard to know that things are okay. We're people who folks usually tell me they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. They're waiting for the next thing that's going to go wrong. And I'll tease them about becoming superstitious because this is subconsciously just one more way in which we try to be in control. So I'll joke with them that their whole life just became a Nickelback song. Something's got to go wrong because I'm feeling way too damn good. Unfortunately, I've watched people create a awful lot of drama in their lives. I've watched them create problems, and I've watched them engage in a lot of what we call script writing, which is predicting the future in much the same way that a playwright will write out the plot and the characters and what it is that's going to happen next. In the midst of our fear and anxieties about life, we do something very similar. We decide how events are likely to unfold and we prepare for them, or at least that's what we tell ourselves. Realistically, we spend a lot of time worrying and developing plans for things that never actually come to pass. I often try to get folks to watch. It's like a 5 minute video on YouTube. It's entitled Sunscreen, and it was written by Baz Luhrmann, a famous movie director. Baz was giving a commencement speech, but he had enough humility to know that nobody really listens to commencement speeches. So, what he offers is a very brief and very poetic series of advice in which he alternates between very pragmatic things and very philosophical things. But in his talk, he said, don't spend time worrying. Essentially, the things that will really mess up your life are things that you couldn't have possibly seen coming. There was no preparation. And honestly, the more I work with people, the more I see that preparing, what's the old expression? I'm preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. And I don't believe that. I think it's impossible to do both simultaneously. But more importantly, when I'm dreading, worrying, anticipating, or preparing for the future based on negative expectations, I'm depriving myself of any joy or any peace or any happiness that I might have in today. So it does take a lot to get used to things getting better. It takes a lot to learn how to cope with anxiety and fear in really healthy ways. And I think much of that hinges on connection to kindred spirits, connection to good friends and family, to people in recovery, because we've all struggled with these things. And when we struggle alone, we get lost inside of our own head. But when we seek reassurance from others, when we look for a reality check from others. Just kind of share with them what's going on in our lives, and am I overlooking something? Am I not being honest with myself about something? It's going to help me have a lot more peace of mind and feel a lot safer in the here and now. So those are a few things to get you started on your way. I'll put the same curse on you. I hope it gets so good you can't stand it. But as you continue to grow and to heal, there will always be discomfort. It simply has to be part of the process. So as my friends in NA say, all you have to do is get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Don't create problems inside your head. Don't plan for things that may or may not ever happen. Set your goals, stay in today, work hard. Email me, jim@sobernow.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the adjustments that you're making through the course of your recovery. I'd love to hear about questions that you have. I'd appreciate if you give a like to the video and spread the word with friends and family so that we can continue these conversations. Please take excellent care of you and have a great day.